Good to go. Oh, yes, sorry. Proper posture. Good evening. My name is Rob Kemp from Showem FM. Welcome to the Astral Broadcasting headquarters in downtown Montreal and the Showem live studio for this exclusive Canadian radio interview with Muse.
Hello.
Radio people in the audience. Stunned silent. They've released 6 studio albums, 3 live albums dating back to 1999. They have won a collection of music awards, including 5 MTV Europe Awards, 6 Q Awards, 8 MME Awards, 2 Brit Awards, an MTV, VMA, an AMA, and a Grammy for Best Album. Please welcome from England, Matt Bellamy and Dominic Howard from Muse, once again.
I feel like a boxing match or something.
Hello.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hi, guys. Thanks, first of all, for stopping by here today.
Good. Thanks for having us. Yeah, it's great to be here. Great city. Beautiful city.
Well, I was telling you guys earlier, I apologize for the weather. Normally this time of year in Montreal, it's much warmer. There's a lot more sundresses around town. Not by me, but there's, it's not necessarily jacket weather. So.
Well, it's been a nice day. It's gorgeous out there.
Yeah, it's been
nice.
lovely and sunny, even though, I walked all the way around the old port and everything, the old town.
Place to be in Montreal, yeah.
I had a coffee on some Amherst place that was really nice.
I got to thank you guys for choosing Showem and Astral here for your only Canadian radio interview. Is there 2 back-to-back sold-out shows here at the Bell Centre? You stuck around to do your day off here in Montreal. Is there a connection with you guys in Montreal, an affinity for the city in particular?
We've always had great concerts here. We noticed that the crowd here seemed to pick up probably faster than anywhere else even anywhere in North America, I'd say. It might be because of the French connection. We've always had a great following in France, and some of our best concerts have been in Paris, so I'm not sure if there's a connection there, but from our first tour in North America, Montreal always stood out as being one of the best audiences, yeah.
For those of you watching, you'll note that Chris is not here. I noticed last night that he tweeted that he put together a soccer match at the Canadiens practice facility on the South Shore. Did you guys take part in that?
No. I don't know whether he's still out there doing that now, but he tends to do that. He sets up, soccer games and twitters out, saying come down, so a bunch of fans come down and play with him. And but he normally organises things with the pros in whatever city we're in, So, yeah.
Well, it's too bad that the Habs are on the road tonight, our ice hockey team, because they could use a little ass kicking before the playoffs. So maybe Chris could have whipped them into shape. So.
He probably could, yeah.
I wanted to talk to you guys. Football is popular here in Montreal. Obviously, we have the Montreal Impact, so it's it's nice that he's able to do that. Speaking of Twitter, I noticed that Matt, you were tweeting on your way to the Brit Awards. Were those live tweets, or did you sort of take the pictures and then tweet when you got there? Matt was tweeting that he took the tube to the Brit Awards to avoid traffic.
Well, yeah, the traffic was insane, so I just thought tube would be the quickest way to get there. What it was, these TV shows, what was it, Brits? Yeah, it's like these shows where you have loads of hours of waiting around, it was sort of it's like 2 o'clock, and I thought I'm not playing till 8 or something, and everyone was saying, well, it's going to take 2 hours to get back into the city, 2 hours to get out, so I just went back on the tube. I wanted to see Bing was playing the drums. I wanted to get back and...
What kind of pandemonium does it create if people spot you guys on the tube riding around in London, or do you guys? I mean,
It's actually
you
cool.
guys don't
I
really
bumped
take the tube every day walking around London, do you?
If you're going long distances, it's the best way to get around because the traffic's just like you just know getting around by car anymore in London. It's just like the road system was designed for like horses. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's like way out of date. So, tube works.
The tube works.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's.
It's
I bumped into
fast
some.
and cheap,
There's
isn't
fun.
it?
It's fun down there. There's on the way to the Brit Awards. There's loads of people that were going there that were like drinking and partying and getting in the mood. You know, it's like being in a pub or something on the move.
Fair enough. The new album called The Second Law, an album that you guys have spans several different styles of music. Fans and critics have been calling it different styles. Is there a category that you think you fit into, or are you happy to just go along with whatever? Just in general, but you hear
Category
all
of music, you mean?
But
I mean,
exactly.
rock,
styles or
rock.
genres.
We get called alternative a lot of the time. I think that's pretty close. You know, we've always been doing music which I think is a bit alternative or a bit different to what's going on. Rock, you know, is a pretty good description for some of it. Yeah.
I've heard you guys talk about different influences that you have in your music. Just last night at the show during Undisclosed Desires, three of us at the same time turned to each other and said, it reminds us of Depeche Mode a little bit. I mean, in a good way. It was, familiar, but in a good way. And
yeah, we've always been into, since about the second, third album, around that time, we started to just introduce little bits of electronica. We started out just pretty straight rock, guitar, bass and drums. Piano crept in there. Then electronica started to appear, and that became more prominent on the fourth album, fifth album. And even now, yeah, so that's sort of something we've wanted to like incorporate some modern sounds and not just use kind of vintage instruments, in some of the songs.
But the other familiarity for myself from the first second that I heard Panic Station, I couldn't quite put my finger on it until I read that you guys had one of the guys that played with Stevie Wonder on Superstition.
Oh yeah, that was one of the. Yeah, we had a brass band that came in to do the brass section.
But as soon as I read that, I went, there you go. There it is. There's the influence.
Yeah, we were
right
lucky
there.
enough to play with, not with him, but we played it on the same stage as Stevie Wonder in Glastonbury Festival, wasn't it? 2010, was it?
10, I think, yeah.
And that's the first time I've ever seen him live. It was amazing. Just really amazing performer, so I'm sure that had a little bit of influence there.
Right. Question from one of our listeners before this interview. Obviously, we put the word out if anybody had some questions they wanted to ask you. And Robert, who was at the show last night with his two sons that are in their 20s, and he noted that your music spans the generations. He's in his late 50s, and his two sons are in their 20s. He wants to know who in the band is the French composer, because he cited Mon Cœur s'ouvre. From the Resistance album.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I noticed you guys spoke a little bit of French last night up on stage. Is that sort of we're going to Montreal? We got to learn a couple of sentences, or?
It's good to know how to say hello and
Bonjour,
thanks
Montréal,
wherever
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I've always
that French
Berlioz.
bit in,
Berlioz is French, isn't he? Hector Berlioz. He was one of the. I think, isn't he? I don't want to get that wrong, but I think he is. But he was one of the first classical classical music stuff that I got into. Really dramatic music.
Right.
That rubbed off on some of our early music, I think.
what was that French piece?
What? Don't do that. So, but yeah, Dom lives in France, and I think he's. Don't you? You live there. Well, you spend some of your time
I
there.
have done, yes.
Yeah, so you
past.
should be learning French. But
I know, yeah.
You've got no excuse. Get that Rosetta Stone.
Complètement
get on the
bilingue,
case.
Dominic?
Sorry?
Yes, right. Okay, moving on. Just to touch quickly on Panic Station, the video released just earlier, over 500,000 views. That's just on your YouTube channel alone. How quickly did it get back to you guys that there might have been a little bit of misstep with the rising sun flag in the background? And what's your, from all the reaction that I read, you guys, it was an honest mistake. You obviously weren't trying to offend anybody. How quickly did that get back to you when the decision's made to change it?
Yeah, it happened straight away. We worked with a good friend of ours called Tim, who directed it, and he was with us in Japan. We just kind of threw together this sort of simple concept. I was just wandering. We're pretending to be basically Japanese pop stars for the day, dressing up in silly costumes and wandering around the streets of Shibuya, getting into this sort of whole costume play. We found this robot bar thing, and we just filmed the whole thing, put it together. Tim did the graphics. but yeah, obviously we didn't pay close enough attention. I didn't know. None of us really knew that was a particularly offensive imaging career. But obviously we found that out and took it out straight away. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, it's an image that it's everywhere. It's not something that you would imagine immediately think.
I thought it was
sure.
on Karate Kid's. I thought Karate Kid had
exactly.
it on his thing, but anyway.
Not quite. As with the previous album, the three of you produced the Second Law. It seems in an age where everybody's clamoring to find that big superstar producer, you guys chose to produce it yourself. Why that decision?
Well, we decided to produce The Resistance by ourselves because we built our own studio in Italy, and we thought we might as well just get on with it ourselves. I think all between the three of us, we kind of understand the technicalities of how to record pretty well, and we've certainly learned so much over the years doing the first 5 albums. So we just thought it would be a great challenge, and we just thought we'd jump into it and do it. If we really wanted to really record and make the album sound exactly the way we want it, we might as well do it ourselves. So we decided to do that again this time round. But it's fun producing. It's great. We have a good time doing it.
Do you think that bands that go out and hire external producers that don't put, not, I don't want to say inferior material, but aren't doing their best work, should they be doing it on their own? Or is it just a particular skill set that you guys have or have learned to?
No, I think we're open to working with producers again. I think we just felt that we wanted to learn about that side of it ourselves. All the engineering side and the technical side, and I think because we wanted to push the band outside some of the sounds that we've become very familiar with on previous albums. So we felt like maybe doing that on our own would be the easiest way. Because often when you're working with a producer, they try and guide you towards something they want, But in the future, I'm sure we would work with a producer again. But just these last 2 albums, we felt like it would be good to control things ourselves for a bit.
Is there a wish list of